Now this is going to be fun. Coming up on the Cocktail Guru podcast, it's a special two-part season finale captured live at the 20th Annual Tales of the Cocktail Conference in New Orleans. Join us as we dig deep and dig delicious with some of the hospitality industry's most dynamic movers, shakers, and stirrers, including Jägermeister Brandmeister Willie Shine, restaurant legend Dickie Brennan, William Grant's Charlotte Boyce, Bodega Lustau Stephen Dragun, Tullamore D.E.W's Gillian Murphy, Whiskey Wizard Dave Schmier, and more. Well, this next segment is brought to us by...
It's Lustau Sherry.
Yes, the House of Lustau.
It's amazing because every person that we're dealing with, every brand that we're talking about is a favorite of mine, and I go way back.
Yes,
and
go way back.
I mean way back with Lustau Sherry. I don't even want to tell you how far back I go.
Well, we could talk about it.
But it's when Lustau was
unpack this.
It's when Lustau was first introduced into the United States, and I attended tastings. I was a journalist at the time, and I was invited to a number of different tastings. And I must say, I fell in love with one particular product, which we will talk about after we introduce our guest.
Well, let's bring in our guest, Mr. Stephen Dragun from the House of Lustau.
Stephen Dragun, thank you very much.
Hello.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's so good to be down here with y'all.
Stephen, I think we met when you were hired at Hospitality Holdings.
That's right.
Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Can you believe Dad is shocked? Look at that face.
Well, that's
someone needs to make another
recognize him.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It has been a while. Yes.
I think I had already moved to Massachusetts by then.
I think
and
so.
I was just coming back to consult.
Right. Yeah.
But you were brought on as it was a lead bartender for which location?
All of them, and then I helped them open Lexington's. That's bar at the bottom of
the barn.
No, it's off of 39th and Lex.
Yeah. Nice. And where were you before that?
I was running a bar out in Brooklyn called Lucy's Lounge, little nice neighborhood spot on 3rd Avenue and 10th in Gowanus.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was a great little spot. Especially it was my first, bar gig in the city, so it was nice to, get involved with, the local community and have regulars before I moved into Manhattan where no one knew the hell where I was.
And did you have a stint at World Bar as well?
I did not. I think I might have.
See, you got lucky because most of us working for Hospitality Holdings had to have at least one day at the World Bar.
I did not have a shift there. I do think I worked a couple of parties there, but I didn't.
Yeah, the parties were the thing to do because that was the most lucrative.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so, well, you're one of those bartenders who transitioned from being behind the bar to working with a brand. So was there a moment in your life where you were like, okay, I think I kind of want to move away from bartending and make more of a brand side choice? What was it? What did that feel like?
It felt like my back and my knees can't do this much longer. I'm getting old. I need to think about the future. It's not something that I set out to do. It just kind of happened organically with the way I was feeling at the time, but also the opportunities that presented themselves. And I had to make a decision. Do I want to keep doing this or try something new? And ultimately I went on the brand side.
And you couldn't be working for a better sherry producer.
I am very fortunate.
I fell in love, and I must say, in love. We were talking about ABBA before. Well, that's one of my musical loves. But in the world of sherry, my great love is Lustau Pedro Jimenez.
Very decadent.
OMG.
Absolutely.
And that is just
second time you said OMG during this.
I'll be saying it again.
Of the podcast, and it's a little strange, but you get it from your.
It's not that strange.
Oh no! Now he's bringing the ASMR. You're a nut. So moving from that brand side, that's a big deal, and now you're working for this house that is very well respected and puts out amazing products.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's such a niche category. There's so much to talk about. We're very fortunate that the brand is so well loved and respected. It makes my job easy. I feel like we're in the right time as far as what's going on in our industry, as far as low ABV. I feel like people outside of our industry are actually starting to want to try fortified wines and Amari and be a bit more adventurous. So it's a great time to be a sherry lover.
Sherry is definitely a fortified wine for our time.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
And so what are the things that you're doing here at Tales of the Cocktail?
So we did Speed Rack on Sunday, which we've been partners with them for many years.
Amazing organization.
They're fantastic. I love working with them. And then on Monday, we sponsored a wellness seminar with Capri Robinson out of DC, really just talking about work-life balance. And we did a little sherry tasting as well. This obviously is going on today. We had a vermouth seminar yesterday where we were a co-sponsor with Lo-Fi and some other vermouths, and really just talking about the category and how it's blowing up right now. And we're so fortunate to have all these geeky fortified aromatized wines coming from all over the place. And then, a few pop-ups here and there. My coworker Leanne works at Clover Club in Leyenda, so she's been involved with doing a bunch of pop-ups over the week. So it's been just the right amount of busy, not overwhelming, but like stuff every day to keep us going.
That's important. Yesterday was our crazy busy day. A little overwhelming, but we got through it. And I need a drink. I need a Lustau cocktail.
Oh, yeah.
And
Definitely.
Abigail, of course, is behind the bar. And Abigail, do you want to give us a little update on what you have happening?
Do I have to? Because this sherry is so delicious. I want you to try it.
You don't have
just
to.
as it is right now.
Okay, let's try it.
It is
Neat.
delicious.
Let's try it.
But
Thank you.
this, it was this house. It was the tasting at Louis 639.
Oh my gosh,
Turn on my microphone here. So sorry. It was this house where I was first introduced to sherry through a tasting at Louis 639 in New York, and I absolutely fell in love with sherry. I think that first night, Oloroso became my favorite expression. And then like a couple years later, it was Amontillado, then it was Manzanilla. It just keeps cycling around through all of these beautiful sherries. So I definitely would like to play with this if that's allowed.
Please.
Okay. All right. I'm going to come up with a little something for you. I think we're going to do a nice, let's try another shaken, my instinct is to go like something rye stirred, but let's go crazy. Let's do some of this. I want to do the mango passion with this. I think that's going to be
Perfect
really
puree
good.
mango passion.
Yeah, that'll be good. All right, I'll work on that.
Can you tell us a quick something about this?
So this is a very special bottling, and I haven't really tried it until now because it just came out. It kind of sold out immediately when it came out. So this is part of a collection of 3 sherries to commemorate our 125th anniversary. So we did very special bottlings from each of the 3 towns in the Sherry Triangle. So this is our Amontillado de Castillo. It's an average age of 30 years. So this technically would be a VORS sherry, a very old rare sherry, which must be at least 30 years old. It spends 4 years of its life aging under a layer of yeast floor. And then after that, it oxidizes for over 25 years, 17 of those years completely untouched. So, very bold flavors, loads of concentration, believe 21.5% ABV. So it's a heavy hitter as well. But just loads of nuance.
Solera method.
Yes, absolutely. Only 20 butts. Very small Solera.
Okay, that is very
and it's aged in the castle of St. Marcos in El Puerto de Santa Maria, which actually was the castle that Christopher Columbus set sail from to discover the Americas. The castle is it's a very special place, and it's beautiful if you ever get a chance to go. If I can help you go.
Please, that's an invitation.
Absolutely,
we accept
because I will hold you to it, Mr. Dragun.
Please.
I think Abigail is straining out the cocktail there, and it looks beautiful. Wow.
Yeah, I did the mango passion fruit with the sherry and topping it with a little champagne, and then I think we're going to add some fresh basil to this.
Oh, basil is the savory. Play on the savory notes.
Yeah, because of the savory notes in the Amontillado. It's just so pretty. All right. I didn't even taste this, guys, just to let me know what you think.
We believe in you.
Oh, yes.
I kind of smell them as I go.
Yes, of course, right.
I guess kind of laugh at me.
We know
while I
that
smell it.
whatever you produce, Abigail, is going to be fantastic.
Absolutely.
Cheers.
Gentlemen.
Stephen, thank you. Let's give us a little taste. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
Highly crushable.
Yes. Highly crushable.
So good. Wow.
That's the name of this particular segment. Highly crushable.
Highly crushable. Absolutely.
Wow.
Sherry definitely is highly crushable.
Stephen, this was great. Lustau is amazing. You're awesome. Great to see your face.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Amontillado.
It is, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
It was quite a treat for me as well.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Have a great
Thank
rest
you,
of your
guys.
tales. I think we just have someone who popped over as a very special guest, and this is completely off the cuff, and we are so thankful that none other than
Well, when you're at Tales of the Cocktail,
anything can happen.
wonderful people just pop up out of nowhere. But we were able to plan this yesterday for
Yeah.
today, and we have someone who is truly, truly legendary in the restaurant industry. Chef, restaurant owner, someone who has helped create the entire restaurant industry in the town of New Orleans, and his name is familiar to everyone who knows the industry, and many who don't, and that's Dickie Brennan.
Dickie Brennan, come
Dickie
on over
Brennan,
to the
please
couch.
come right in. Wow, this is incredible.
A true powerhouse
I love the couch.
Yeah,
in the New Orleans industry.
Oh,
hey,
stop it.
we're
How
trying to
y'all
make
doing?
it comfortable for you.
It's very comfortable.
Good,
I mean,
good.
you just
Well,
lean,
please.
let's all lean
Lean
back,
back.
Dickie Brennan style.
That's
How
great.
about that?
Great. Well,
I
Nice
got-
to relax.
Well, I must tell you, this is such an honor for me because I've been a patron of Brennan's restaurant. Breakfast at Brennan's.
We had to do something.
Not just breakfast.
And you know
but
what the secret was?
what?
My dad used to tell a story that we had this table and you walked in the front, you walked in this carriage, the carriageway. There was a host stand. And then there was this table in the diner. And nobody wanted to sit there. So the first table that would sit there or would walk in, didn't have a reservation, so sure, we take care. And they put them right there. And as soon as they sat down, he had a wine bucket with a bottle of, I don't know why, but Peace Porter Riesling was like the go-to
Yeah,
thing
sure.
at breakfast. And would give them the bottle of wine and say, thank you for being my first guest. Then he'd watch people walk in, and as they were going to get seated, and typically it was the husband behind the wife trying to get the wife, and the wife's like, why wasn't they? Point paid, say, they're drinking, we're drinking. So at breakfast at Brennan's, everybody was drinking.
And what year was that?
That's in the 50s.
In the 50s. Fantastic.
So everybody had a good time.
You always have a good
That's
time
when
at Brennan's.
That's when we brought back all that we called them eye openers. The
Yeah.
famous, it was the Ramus Gin Fizz
Yeah.
and the Sazerac and we changed the brandy milk punch to a bourbon milk punch. Because Dad kept wanting to do American spirits, and stuff like that. So
I mean, you
a
guys-
lot of fun stories when it comes to a bunch of Irishmen running a French restaurant.
Yeah, because it was called Brennan's French Restaurant at one time.
I have no idea what we were thinking.
Yeah, well, I have as a menu collector, I can say I have some of those menus, which go way back.
It said Brennan's
Proud
French
to have
Restaurant
them.
way back in the day.
And also, let's not forget Bananas Foster. Isn't there Bananas Foster pancakes
Oh,
or something like that at Brennan's?
So I mean,
remember.
once they created Bananas Foster, and when we opened Mr. B's back in the late
Yeah.
70s,
Yeah.
we did a frozen drink, which we called it Banana Faster.
Mm.
But it was a great drink, rum drink, frozen banana Fosters.
Yeah.
But we've done it everywhere you can imagine at this point.
And your family owned Old Absinthe House.
Well, that's
Yeah.
back in the 40s. I mean, a bunch of Irishmen run the Old Absinthe House. I mean, that was kind of our thing. And across the street on Bourbon Street, the old View Carré restaurant space became available. And so we got the idea, well, why don't we open a restaurant? And I think it was my dad's oldest sister, Adelaide. She just, they grew up poor. I mean, they were immigrants here in the Irish Channel, and she always wanted the family and her brothers, younger brothers, sisters, to go to college, do all these great things. She said, if we're doing a restaurant, it's going to be nice. Well, nice was French.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But Caddy Corner was Arno's. Half a block away was Galatoire's, and around the corner, the oldest French restaurant in America, Antoine's. And so we opened Brennan's French restaurant next to three, incredible French restaurants. I don't think we would have gotten money today to do that, but
And
God
these-
bless America.
Yeah, exactly.
It worked.
And God bless
Here
the
we
Brennan
are.
family, because these restaurants are institutions
Ah.
in the restaurant industry, not just in New Orleans, but around the world.
That's
'Cause everybody
kind of you say that. We have lived the American dream, and there's no better city than to be in the food, spirits, industry. So we love it. In fact, my kids are in the business. I mean, it just continues on, which is nice. Just had my first grandson.
Oh, congratulations!
Hey, congratulations.
Oh, that's
Mazel
wonderful.
Had the
That's
possibility
wonderful.
of a fifth generation.
That's fantastic.
Isn't that crazy?
I have 3 grandchildren, so
Love it.
I know how that feels. It's
Congratulations,
great.
yeah.
Great. Thank you. And wow. Can you tell us something about how the industry is coming back after the pandemic in New Orleans?
People are coming. They want to come visit. I think people I got to stay at home, but we're just having a hard time staffing up. So I mean, we're not doing the 7 days a week that we normally do, and this is a 24/7 town. So I mean, it's awkward when we're closed on a Monday or a Tuesday or Sunday. So our hope is once we get into our season really starts in October, and it looks good with the meetings starting back up. So hopefully by then we'll have a full team again and get back to normal.
We need more conventions coming back to New Orleans, right? As you were saying yesterday.
That was, I mean, that's what built this city.
Yeah.
And, people who are traveling leisure, it's leisure dollars, it's your own dollars. When you come for a convention, you're expensing it. It's a whole different experience. So we're kind of missing the business travel that's not been here yet. So, but it's coming.
Well, brighter times are ahead. Including, Brennan's kind of lifting everybody up. I mean, your family and your venues, and it's just amazing to experience your restaurants and to be able to meet you too, and to have you come on our little podcast. We really appreciate it.
I appreciate y'all coming to New Orleans, and we've crossed paths many
Yes,
times.
we have,
and,
Dickie, because
it's
Brennan,
great to see you again, and
Thank
things
you.
are starting to feel good again.
For the last 45 years that I've been coming to New Orleans, Brennan's has always been one of my very first stops.
Thank you.
So
Well,
and
we
we'll
appreciate
continue to be.
We
Thank you
appreciate
very
it,
much.
and we'll
Thank you.
keep the tradition going.
Thank you,
Yes.
Dickie. Appreciate it.
All right. Well,
It's
y'all
so
have a
great to see you.
Yeah,
Dickie
thank you.
Brennan.
Dickie
Thank
Brennan,
you
ladies and
very
gentlemen.
much. Thank you.
We're going to bring our next guest right on. We're rolling through. Here we go. Dave Schmier. Come
Dave,
over here,
yes,
man.
please.
You're
Come right
here,
Dave.
I want to give you a big hug, man. We're going to cross over that.
A hug in the time.
Oh, man. my dad. You are just like a brand superpower. That is you. I think that is you, right? Is that
I
an
wouldn't,
accurate
I wouldn't say
assessment?
superpower, but it's been a good run.
No, I mean you birth brands and you assist brands coming to market. Isn't that what Proof and Wood does? Yeah.
We try.
Yeah. Can you tell people a little bit about the company?
Proof and Wood started it in 2015 after we sold Redemption Rye. And
That's right. And Redemption Rye you helped create.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there were two of us, and it was a great roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
And clearly I wasn't done, and I started building a whiskey library, sourcing whiskey and laying down new make whiskey, and then kind of playing with that and turning the whiskey into brands. And our philosophy has always been put good whiskey in a bottle at a fair price, or good liquid in a bottle, as we're talking about rum today.
Yeah.
And now there's the funk Jamaican rum.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. Can you tell us about it?
Sure, and every superhero has an origin story. So the origin story of the funk, directly connects to the whiskey. Actually, one of the brokers that I bought whiskey from had a bunch of Jamaican column still rum sitting in Canada that was aging for 3 years in ex-Canadian whiskey barrels. So after 3 years in Canada, that stuff was a little bit darker than water, but not much, and had a little bit of wood flavor. It was a light rum. It was nice. And I had the simple notion of, what if I brought it to Kentucky and put it in all these ex-rye barrels I have? I think that would be interesting. That was the grand plan.
Yeah.
And as you know, American whiskey barrels are pretty intense relative to barrels from around the world. They're only used once, and these were pretty young barrels. Within a month, the wood flavor and color had overpowered the flavor of the column still rum. So what do you do? So you call up your friends at Worthy Park and say, hey, do you have any pot still rum that you could sell me? And thinking that eventually I would age them all in Kentucky and blend them together when they were ready. And the rum arrives through a hurricane and all that fun stuff. Story for another day. But the rum arrives and it's 300-gallon totes. We've got a variety of really cool aged rum and some unaged heavy pot still rum. And I get a call from the warehouse manager down in Kentucky, and he says, Dave, we have a problem. What kind of problem? I've never smelled anything so awful. I'm like, okay, so you've never really encountered Jamaican rum, have you? And in fairness, it was at 160 proof and 300 gallons of it. If you open that up, you can kind of get a subtle hint of what was going on there.
Abigail's mixing up a cocktail back there. With the
I must tell you, one of my favorite elements in a great rum, especially rum agricot from the French islands, is what I call funkiness, funky flavors. And it's just richness and complexity.
Here's
and
a cocktail.
Something that I love in rum. And this is, even though this is Jamaican rum, not from French islands, it still has that quality of rum agricot that I love so much.
Yeah, it's all molasses based.
Yeah.
But it still has some of those characters that people associate.
Abigail, can you tell us about this?
Yeah, so this is an ode to one of my mentors, Tony Cicchini in New York, who, when I was working with him at Fort Defiance and I was a baby bartender and I was making drinks, and they were all like 15 ingredient drinks. And he's like, this is good. What'd you put in? I'm like, well, I did a split base here and I did a dash of this and a dash of that. And he said, stop. Make me a drink that tastes good with 3 ingredients or less. This has 3 ingredients. The funk, Amontillado sherry, and a little orange peel on top.
Yeah.
It's all
Wonderful.
about proportion,
So good.
dilution,
So good.
and balance.
Oh my gosh, this is great.
And you can taste the funk.
Yes,
you can taste
yes,
it.
you
Like,
can.
now you brought another brand with us too, the Roulette.
Did I?
I don't know if. Well, we talked about it. I don't think we have a bottle of it. But do you want to mention a quick something about
really quickly
Roulette? Yeah.
because we're in the funk. Roulette is probably, as you might have you mentioned, we do a lot of different expressions, and part of the name Proof and Wood, there's 2 stories I give when people ask me about the name, and I talk about my great grandfather Jebediah Proof, and my grandfather on the other side Ezekiel Wood, and that's not really true.
No.
But it really
Sounds like a good story.
it's a good story though, so we tell it often. The better story is, again, as you know, I don't distill myself, but I like to say that we're an independent bottler and we source whiskey and spirits from all over the world. And what do we have control of? We have control over the age, and it's the wood, because most of their age is in wood, and what you bottle at, the proof or ABV for people on the other side of the pond. And this affects the flavor and quality of what you're tasting out of the bottle.
Yeah.
So that's what we do. The Roulette Rye is 100 proof and 4 years old. I like to say it's our best value.
Yeah.
Retails for under $30. So
Wow.
works in bar cocktails and whatnot. But back to the funk. So I got a sample sent up to me from this awful stuff.
Yeah.
And I smelled it at first, and I opened the bottle, and the entire house reeked of the funk in a good way.
Yep.
And tried a little bit. It was kind of what I expected.
Yeah.
Being familiar with Jamaican rum, and obviously the flavor that we refer to as funkiness, but when you get into it, you talk about overripe vegetables, and not rotten, but overripe.
Yep.
Some grassiness, things like that. But it was pretty intense.
Yeah.
And I brought it down to 100 proof. And it's what the funk is. It's really approachable, but it gives you a really good hint of what Jamaican rum is all about.
Yeah.
And I've always liked strong, powerful flavors, going back to initial interest in rye. And that really, really spoke to me. Like, this has to go in a bottle. What should we call it? And I'm a simple person. let's call it the funk.
The funk.
And so here we are.
Easy.
And, it's fun having people taste it because it's a very polarizing flavor. Either you love it or, kind of the other thing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you love it, it's great in a simple rum-forward cocktail.
Yeah.
And this is a 3-ingredient rum-forward cocktail, and this is great. And this is what we made it for.
Yeah.
Great in a tea punch, great in a daiquiri. But we find a lot of people use it to modify, tropical fruit, tiki-style cocktail.
Yeah.
Just gives it a little bit more liveliness, a little bit more flavor.
Amazing. Well, Dave, thank you so much for coming here and for enjoying a cocktail with us, and appreciate you. Great to see you.
Appreciate you as well. Thanks for
Thanks
having
for
me.
bringing the funk with you.
All right.
Very delicious.
Thank you.
Delicious
Take care.
funk.
You love tequila, Dad.
I don't know what to say about tequila. It's just one of my all-time favorite spirits, of course.
And this is a really lovely tequila that just came across our desks recently.
It is.
I like to say that came across
our desks. But more importantly, the two guys responsible for this tequila, called Donata Tequila, are locals in the sense that they attended Tulane University. And they are here with us today. And Tulane, of course, is right here in New Orleans.
Let's bring them right on.
So
Daniel
Neeson and Adam Millman from Donata Tequila.
Come on, guys.
Thank you
very much
for having us.
We poured a little bit of the repo here.
Oh, the Reposado.
Reposado.
Donata. Fantastic. Thank you.
We're gonna share.
Thank you very much.
Guys, welcome.
Thank you very much for having us.
Great to be here.
Now, you don't live here, right?
No, my heart lives here.
Your heart,
But
of course.
We were here for 4 years, and we went to university, and good to be back.
I love Tulane. It's a great place.
We were walking the campus yesterday. It's just a great feeling to be here.
Oh yeah, memories flying back to your brain.
Crazy. I haven't been back since graduation, so being on campus, I actually had a little PTSD of when my next class was. So that was a good feeling.
I gotta get to class.
Yeah.
Guys, tell us a little bit about Donata and how it came about, because I think it's a very interesting story.
Definitely unique story for sure. I mean, me and Adam obviously went to school together. We were roommates together. We were in the same fraternity. And we were kind of like introverted guys. We always bonded over, cocktails and, good food here. And we've always had kind of dreams of starting our own business. And we really kind of felt the magic of New Orleans and what it gave to us. We wanted to translate that to a tequila that stood for authentic roots and something special.
And it does, and it is. This is really special. This brings out everything that I am looking for in a fine tequila.
This is our Reposado, so it's aged 4 months in American white oak barrels. And you can taste it's additive free, so it's just a pure tequila made the way it should be.
Yeah, it's very nice, very clean, very drinkable. Great for sipping, and I presume for cocktails. And actually, I hear some ice being stirred back there.
That can only mean one thing.
Only mean one thing. That
Abigail is back in action.
The best sound
Yes, she
ever.
is. Yeah,
Abigail
it
is back, and she's mixing up a Donata Blanco cocktail.
I am. One of the things I like to do, especially with when you're experimenting with a new product, is put it in a familiar setting, but and with an unfamiliar spirit, switching stuff around. So we're actually doing sort of classic Mai Tai specs with lime, the almond orgeat from Monin, and some yuzu, dry curacao, and with the beautiful Donata Blanco. So let's try it out and see how it is.
My mouth is salivating.
You know what I find in tequila sometimes, in this one in particular, but not in all tequilas, but I love this character. I mean, some people use the term wet cement to describe certain tequilas. This is an old term. Maybe you're not that familiar with because you're young guys. I'm an old timer, so I go way back. But there's a quality here because of the complexity and the concentration of flavor. It reminds me a little bit of mint. There's a somewhat minty quality to this tequila.
There is. You're not crazy, Dad.
Yeah.
Oh, I know, I'm not.
Just a little bit.
We've definitely heard some crazy tasting notes for sure. That it's oh, that's cool you picked that up.
Yeah.
That's really...
Mint is definitely a tasting note, though.
Yeah.
And when it's pure tequila, you get a lot of stuff like that. You pick up a lot of the terroir from the surrounding area, and you can accentuate a cocktail around it, which is great.
But when people say wet cement, a term that may not be used commonly, but it is within our industry, among certain people of a certain age, we're talking about really the concentrated agave character.
Cocktail down.
Absolutely.
This is just
This looks beautiful.
It looks
This
beautiful.
is stunning.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you,
Thank you so
Abigail.
much, Abigail.
Hey,
Thank
guys.
you. Cheers.
Cheers.
De nada.
Looks
Banana.
beautiful. So beautiful. Mint leaf. Oh yeah, smells Mai Tai-ish.
Fantastic.
That's gorgeous.
Perfect blend of ingredients there. I love it. Wow.
Yeah, you could definitely have a few of these.
You can. It's a porch pounder, as we say.
I love that.
So what sort of activities are you doing with Donata? You know, within the consumer trade.
No, it's been very it's been a very organic approach for us. You know, I think there's a this category is exploding, but we truly believe that even though there are a lot of brands coming out, there are a handful of brands that are actually doing it the right way. We truly believe in working with a craft, family distiller, the Feliciano Vivanco family, that all their tequila is additive free. And there's only 61 confirmed additive free tequilas out of well over 2,000 brands. And so for us, what we've been doing is trying to win over the trade, get establish great relationships with bartenders, and really put a face to the brand. I mean, we're on the streets, with backpacks, literally going door to door, just shaking hands and trying to win, relationships that way. And so we're just building it, very organically, guerrilla style, and it's been awesome.
And can you tell us a little bit about the steaming of the agave during the process?
Yeah, so our master distiller, Sergio Cruz, is really a genius. He actually teaches chemistry in his free time, which is amazing. But we do it the proper way. So it's made with brick ovens, copper pot stills.
Yeah.
One interesting fact is during the fermentation process, we actually play classical music, and they say it helps cultivate the yeast. So it's really fantastic. It takes a long time to make, but the good things take a long time. So it's amazing.
Mozart, Chopin,
Mozart.
Beethoven.
Mozart.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us, Daniel and Adam. It's been a pleasure. Your brand is awesome. These cocktails are so great, and it's great to meet you and try everything.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having us.
These are stunning.
Our pleasure. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.
Gracias.
De nada.
We're gonna take a quick little picture and then bring on our next guest because we're rolling right through, guys. And we're moving from Mexico to where? Ireland.
Going to Ireland. Are you
We're
ready
going
for
to
the trip?
Ireland.
Yes,
We're
we
ready.
are.
Gillian Murphy from
Gillian.
Tullamore D.E.W. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me here.
This is amazing. So first of all, you all may recognize Gillian's voice from a Tullamore D.E.W. ad that we had on the Cocktail Guru podcast.
That's why I know.
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
distinctive.
Yes.
The accent. Yes.
So Tully is an amazing brand, and I had the pleasure of visiting a few years ago. And I mean, the production and the terroir, the land, the spirit, it's just amazing.
It really is. I'm obviously biased, but it definitely is stunning. We said we didn't build a whiskey distillery, we built a whiskey castle, and you've been to
It
Tullamore.
really is.
It
I
is
mean,
a
it's beautiful.
castle.
It's state of the art. It's decorative. It's the design of it is gorgeous.
Absolutely. And we've actually done a lot for sustainability in the whiskey industry in Ireland. We're one of the most sustainable ones around, probably because we're the newest. So we've got the latest technology and things like that. But it's a great place. So definitely anybody's in Ireland, pop into Tullamore. We're about an hour outside of Dublin. So
Why didn't you take me with you?
Oh, Dad, I can't take you
And
everywhere.
it's triple blended and
indeed.
triple matured.
it is
as
indeed,
well.
and triple distilled. So we make all three styles of Irish whiskey in our Tullamore D.E.W. original brand. We've got grain whiskey in there, which is going to make it sweet, malt whiskey, which makes it fruity, and pot still, which gives us that iconic Irish whiskey spice. So we really have we're the most Irish whiskey out there.
And you use ex-bourbon barrels and sherry butts as well.
You know everything about Tullamore D.E.W.
He knows it all. He does his
Not
research.
everything. Not everything.
We do indeed, yes. We use 3 different types of casks, as you mentioned. So ex-bourbon, ex-sherry, and refill Tullamore D.E.W. casks as well.
And can we go back a little bit, Gillian? How did you get into the business, and what did you do before working with Tully?
So I actually started with Tullamore D.E.W. with William Grant right out of college.
Oh, wow.
They were doing almost an internship program where they were bringing Irish students to the US to sell whiskey.
Yeah.
So I had dabbled in whiskey before that, but didn't know much, but I thought, what a great opportunity. Interviewed, luckily enough, got the job, and I've been with them nearly 10 years now. So
That's amazing.
throughout the US, yeah, it's been brilliant. Yeah, and I developed a passion for it after that. Obviously, I kind of fell into it, but then the more I learned about it, the more I got to know it. I just fell in love with Irish whiskey.
And, are you sure you're of drinking age? You look much too young.
I definitely am. I'm feeling of drinking age this week. It's a busy week.
A lot going on. And Tullamore D.E.W, of course, is part of the William Grant & Sons portfolio of beautiful products. Charlotte was just on.
Oh, just missed her.
I know, you just missed her. But we have Abigail behind us making a cocktail.
Oh, wow.
Excited, Abigail. I've been seeing what you're doing back there.
Abigail works her magic once again.
I am a big fan of Tullamore D.E.W. I've been to the distillery myself. I think it's absolutely lovely that it is built for future generations. I am of Irish descent. My family is from Leitrim, so my accent is a bit more sing-songy than yours. But we always loved that Tullamore D.E.W was right in the center of the country, and it really represented, the heart of Ireland. And that town has been brought back thanks to the distillery being rebuilt there. So we're very thankful for that. So I'm mixing together a little Tullamore D.E.W, habanero lime for a little bite, lemon juice, and then some dry vermouth, because I love the botanicals of dry vermouth with Irish whiskey. I think it just goes so well. So I'm going to shake that up, serve that up for you, and you can let me know what you think.
Yeah.
Wow.
Gillian, what is your favorite way to drink Tullamore D.E.W?
I'm a neat girl. Whiskey neat, no ice, no water, just a little bit, and I'll sip it slowly. I like to pair it with a beer sometimes, so we call it a Tullamore D.E.W and a brew, beer and whiskey.
Dew and a
so
brew.
I'll sip two side by side.
Right.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. I'm just a sipper. So our global ambassador John Quinn, who's been in the industry for many years, often says that he likes to add a drop of water to his whiskey because he likens it to walking through the forest. Right. So think you're walking through the forest and it's a dry day. Yes, you might get some smells, some aromas from around you. Now imagine it starts to pour rain.
Exactly.
All of a sudden you're immersed by the smell of the forest. So that's what he likens, adding some water to his whiskey.
Yes, like wet leaves in the forest. And
just
it brings
opens
out
it up.
lots of complexity.
Yeah.
It really does.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Gentlemen.
Just a little taste.
Thank you,
Abigail.
lady.
Oh, man. Cheers, my dear.
Brilliant.
Beautiful glasses. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
You know what you're doing back there.
You know a little something or two.
And
it is very reminiscent of like classic punch flavor.
Yeah, true.
Yes. Yes.
I like it.
And we're coming home, Jonathan, because we are of Irish descent as well. On my mother's side of the family.
A little bit.
Well, more than a little bit.
You gotta own
On the maternal side.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
You don't even know all of it.
No, did you do the 23andMe thing?
No, your sister did. I did not yet, but we definitely
Carrie, our
have
executive producer, did.
strong.
What are you
Irish
part?
heritage.
You're part. 30% Irish. Anyone else? Casey, what is your name?
Casey McMurray.
Oh,
Murray.
Excuse me.
there you go.
Ah.
The associate producer's probably 15 to... Actually, no, we don't know what your dad is, so you could be very awesome.
Don't know what your dad is. Okay, so everyone's about 30%, but we're
Oh yeah.
Cheers to 30%, but you are 100% tried and true.
Irish.
So I actually did do a 23andMe, and I'm one of the very rare few people who are 100% anything. I am 100% Irish. Yeah.
Amazing.
I know. We always say my parents are cousins, but who knows?
Oh, by the way, I can't not mention my wife's name is Megan Fitzgerald.
Fitzgerald.
We're probably
Yeah.
related.
So
yeah.
your children are even of a higher percentage.
Yes, and my father-in-law, her dad is Gerald Fitzgerald.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
a great name.
Yes.
Great, isn't it?
Super Irish, 100%.
Cheers to Tully.
Cheers.
Cheers to you, Jillian, and Ireland.
Cheers, folks. Thanks for having me
Thanks
on.
for joining us.
Appreciate it.
Take care. You know, Dad, the RTD category is blowing up.
Yeah, it is. I've actually written articles about that category, going back to the kind of
1820s.
late 19th century, because one of the first was Hugh Blind. One of the first creators of the RT ready to drink bottled cocktail was Hugh Blind.
Right, RTD, for those who don't know, means ready to drink.
Ready to drink. There's a lot of history in that category, and we have spirited Hive with us.
But what's different? What's different to me, first of all, about RTDs these days is that they really run the gamut. You've got some that are still kind of have that old school RTD mentality where they're not really paying much attention to the ingredients that are going inside the can or the bottle or what have you. But with Spirited Hive and with a lot of these other really newer, craft brands, it's quite different. And I'm really excited to have Jack on, who's the founder of Spirited Hive. Come on over here, Jack.
Jack Espy, founder of Spirited Hive.
Hello,
Thank you.
hello.
Jack.
Good.
Thanks for being with us.
Yeah, very nice to meet you both. Thank you
Great
guys
to
for having
meet
me
you.
on.
Pleasure.
Yeah.
So we have three of the, we've got the three from the portfolio, the ginger, rosemary, and cranberry lime.
Yes.
Can you tell us briefly about how Spirited Hive came to be?
Yeah, it's actually kind of a funny story. So it was at the beginning of COVID. I had lost my job. I actually just graduated from college.
Oh, wow.
And, it was at the height of COVID, so everyone was locked down. And I snuck out of the house, and a couple of my buddies snuck out of the house to go, meet up and make some canned cocktails or just cocktails. And my go-to drink is a Moscow Mule. And I was making it for all my friends. And they're like, wow, this is an amazing drink. You should can this. And while we were thinking about different names to name it, I was like, well, what about the name Mint Bee? And they're like, first of all, that's a stupid name, but why Mint Bee? And I was like, mint because there's mint in a Moscow Mule, and bee because there's honey. My friends are like, Jack, there's no honey in a Moscow Mule. So then that's kind of when the light bulb went off in my head. And, I really like the idea of having a very natural, based drink that uses only natural sweeteners.
Oh, yeah.
So then I, got in the kitchen and just started making them up and, just did it off of what my friends liked and what I liked. And the tequila one, the tequila ginger is kind of our take on a Mexican mule. So that's
This one, yeah.
Yeah, so that's a
hold on
ginger
a
infused
second.
honey.
You ready?
Oh yeah, crack it open. That's a
Yeah.
beautiful sound. That is a beautiful
You have
sound.
bourbon, tequila, and vodka.
Bourbon,
as
tequila,
base
and vodka.
spirits.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank
and
you.
honey as a natural sweetener.
Yeah.
Who needs simple syrup?
Who needs
when you
simple
have
syrup?
honey?
And that's our big thing, like we're not big on counting calories. We're more on, counting chemicals. And between these three, it's the most we have of the ingredients is 5 ingredients across all of them. And then we're really excited to announce that we're coming out with a gin. I was telling you earlier, we're coming out with a gin at the end of the summer. So hopefully to be launched like mid-September.
Very exciting.
Cheers. Yeah.
Thank you, Jack.
Of course. Thank you guys.
Very nice.
Yeah. So
Yeah, some nice ginger.
So that's our tequila. So that's a organic wildflower honey that we infused because honey's a viscous material. You can't just put it as a sweetener. So you have to melt it down into a syrup.
Dilute it.
Yeah, dilute it. So when we do that, that's when we infuse ginger into the honey. So it's actually a ginger infused honey.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and then that's what we do across the line. So then our bourbon is a rosemary infused honey, and then our vodka is a cranberry and lime.
This is so complex.
It is. It is.
The flowery, floral nature.
Yeah,
of
that's the
honey. It's just
honey,
coming
right?
Yeah.
through beautifully.
And where is it produced?
So we're producing it right now in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
We launched in Nashville, and we're actually the ready-to-drink sponsor of the new Nashville Soccer Club.
Oh, yeah,
So that's been great.
That's a big
yeah.
deal.
Yeah, so we have 3 branded bars at the stadium.
Oh,
and
wow.
yeah, we actually launched the day of the first game, the first home game. So we launched out, and it was great to see people walking around the stadium with Hive in their hands. It was a very surreal moment. And then actually just last Friday, we signed to be the exclusive ready-to-drink partner of the Nashville Tennessee Titans.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So we're going deep
That's
into
even
Tennessee.
bigger,
Yeah.
And also,
I opened this next one, and
I need some
on your shorts.
refreshment. So please feel free.
Well, I'm gonna pour a little bit of this one out now. Can you tell us a little bit about this one?
Yeah, so this one, thank you. Yeah. So this is the bourbon rosemary. So we're using a 1-year aged bourbon that is from Green River Distilleries. And then with this one, we have a rosemary infused honey, and still the honey across the board is the same. So it's a organic wildflower honey. And then, we distill this down with rosemary.
Oh, this is delicious. I wanted to mention the honey is from specifically Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Yep,
Amish
which is
country.
great. Yeah, Amish country. And actually where we co-pack as well as Amish country, which is great. So everything's pretty close by.
Oh, that's cool.
Because Jonathan and his family have roots in Lancaster.
Oh, great. Awesome.
Yes. Okay, I'm just gonna open this one now. We're gonna get.
Yep. And then that one, we're using a 6 times distilled corn vodka.
Okay.
And then same honey, and then just making that syrup as a cranberry and lime.
Yeah.
And I wish I had the gin because I'm not even that big of a gin drinker. I guess I've become a gin drinker because of the Tom Collins, which is my favorite drink.
Oh, yeah.
So we're kind of our gin is a take on the Tom Collins.
Yeah.
Cheers. Cheers. This is a little different from the other two.
No, that's good too. Yeah.
Quite interesting.
Right. I mean, you really have a cocktail for all tastes.
Yeah, all different occasions too.
All different occasions.
Yeah,
tastes. Yeah,
and that was kind of the big thing about since this drink was made with friends for friends. That's kind of how the drink came to be, was because I came up with these different flavors because my friends, one of them loves bourbon, one of them loves vodka, one of them loves tequila, and it really matches your hive. Who is your hive? Who are the people that you want to spend time with and drink with? This could be a little hive right here. Yeah, this is a hive right here. Yeah, I don't have a Hawaiian shirt, but
that's okay.
Yeah, I need to get a hive Hawaiian shirt.
We are as busy as bees.
Yeah, see? Yeah.
Yes. But this is delicious. The cranberry and the lime is making this veer off into a completely different direction.
Yeah.
Really delicious.
Yeah, and it's funny because
Again,
the honey kind of comes in at different points depending on the drink, and this one kind of comes in at the end. But yeah,
the others are more up front. The honey here seems to be a little bit more in the background, with the cranberry and the lime coming through.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Well, these are great. And thanks for taking the time and for bringing us these products and for the support. And I think you have a really great product. And
thank you.
Best of luck with it.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Well, it was very nice to meet you both.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks. We will see you again.
Casey I've known Casey for quite a while. What? Yes, come in. Just
Casey,
walk
come
in.
Yeah.
Here's
Don't
Casey.
hesitate. How are you?
Casey has been working.
Good.
Casey has been working with us during Tales behind the scenes, mostly, taking photos because you're a wedding photographer.
And a portrait photographer.
Okay, and a portrait photographer here in New Orleans. But Casey and I go way back because back in 2005, I was hired by Hospitality Holdings, which is a company that owns bars and restaurants across New York City, to help them revamp this location that they just took on called Bookmarks Lounge.
Yeah.
And you were
a cocktail waitress.
Cocktail waitress.
At first.
One of the first? Did you open it with me?
No, but I think I was the first female bartender.
That's true.
At Bookmarks.
And
or maybe Hospitality Holdings.
Possibly all of Hospitality Holdings.
Yeah.
That's true. And who trained you?
Jonathan Pogash.
Oh, it was me? Oh, okay.
Yes,
didn't know that.
Yes. My mentor.
That was great. That was a lot of fun. I mean, we had good times.
We had good times
because we had a really good, solid crew, and we were burning and churning, and our private party on one side, people walk-ins on the other side, and busy nights, Thursday, Friday nights. We were.
Well, I'll never forget one busy night.
Okay. Oh boy.
You were bartending.
Yeah.
I was the cocktail waitress, and we were slammed, and you were just mixing drinks, and something happened, and you lost your wedding band.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Yes, of course. Oh my gosh.
So we were in the weeds, needless to say.
We were in the weeds. Yes,
The weeds.
I had lost. It had fallen out in the sink.
Yes, but you found it.
The other bartender, Kareem, found it.
Ah, yeah.
Wow. Thank goodness.
But thank goodness it was found.
Yeah, thank goodness.
But yes, that was quite a moment.
Yeah.
And then we had characters coming into that bar.
Yes, yeah.
And
Still friends with some of
yes,
them.
you became friendly with
Yeah.
some, and
That's one thing I loved about working in the hospitality industry, or still, is just meeting so many different characters. And I'm still in touch with this lady that I met at Bookmarks. I think she's like 80 something now, 85.
Oh, yeah.
Anne.
Yes, Anne.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
I remember it.
Love her. Yeah.
That's great. And you remember going to Bookmarks? You're
Well,
probably
it's
served.
it's thanks
you served my dad.
to my going to Bookmarks that I met Casey.
Yeah.
Thank goodness. So that was
One of my favorite people in the whole entire world.
Oh, thank you. Well, you're my favorite server in the entire world. My favorite bartender.
All right, guys.
And now one of my favorite people of all time, because
thank
we've
you.
been working together quite a bit while we're here in New Orleans.
And so you moved. When did you move back to your home state of Louisiana?
About 7 years ago.
Yeah. What brought you back here?
A man.
A man brought you back here.
A man. Yeah.
But where did you meet your husband? Up in New York?
No, I met him here. I met him here.
How
Yeah.
did you meet him?
Through a mutual friend. We met at Mercado's, which is a famous ice cream place here. And when I saw him in line getting ice cream, I just knew he was the one.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, you know how people say,
So love at first sight.
yeah, love at first sight.
Seriously?
Yeah, seriously.
Wow.
Yeah. I had like butterflies, like real butterflies. things you hear about in movies. No, it's real. Yeah.
And then you were like, this guy, he got my heart. I'm moving from New York.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay here.
You're gonna stay here.
Yeah. Well, I lived in Los Angeles for a little bit as well.
Oh, that's right. You were in
Yeah.
LA, and you were trying to act just like all of us too?
Oh yeah, you know, I did a few things here and there.
Oh, did you?
Treme. Did anyone watch Treme?
Yes, the
I
show.
remember it.
Season
Yes.
1. I can't remember the episode. Yes, Treme.
That's great.
Do you know Verizon?
Yes, I know all about. Please tell. Please, yes.
No, I'm not gonna.
Jonathan was in a Verizon
His
commercial,
one and only.
and it was a big deal.
It was a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were in New York when I got that.
Yeah.
No.
No?
I think it was 2003, 2004.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was.
But I must say, I love you. I love you. And what you guys do, it's like I've been behind the scenes photographing you all for the last couple of days, and it's just like invigorating and exciting. I'm learning so much. Like I would never drink a canned cocktail, but now I'm like, I want to drink this, you know?
Well, we're all learning at the same time.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
That's what I love about
Every day.
about what we do. You know, we're always learning about new things, and
Yeah.
there are always things to learn, and
Yeah.
it's just amazing. Yeah. It's great, Casey.
Thank you, Casey.
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for being you.
Oh, of course. Would you like to know my desert cocktail?
Yes. Casey, what would your
You've been
desert
thinking
island
about it this whole
cocktail
time.
be?
If I were stuck on a deserted island, I would drink champagne.
That's my choice.
Yes, I think that was always your shift drink too.
Yeah.
Just like a glass of sparkling.
Yes.
Champagne and hot dogs, right?
Champagne and fried chicken. Champagne and fried chicken. A cab driver in New York gave me that tip once.
Okay, I want champagne and crawfish.
Okay.
Crawfish étouffée.
Oh, les bon temps roulés.
And oysters. Now I'm going to Felix and Acme's right now, right after this.
Oh, is that?
I'm going.
we have a book signing, Dad.
Well, that's not until 3:30. What time is it now?
Oh yeah, we
We have time.
I think
We're
we might
going.
have time.
We're going.
Well, no, we have a production. Dad, we have a
I
production
need
meeting, and maybe we could have the meeting.
Char grilled oysters and crayfish.
The crew wants it.
Yeah.
And champagne.
And champagne.
This officially wraps up our season 1. No, you stay.
Oh, okay. Yes.
We're wrapping our season 1. We have big plans for season 2.
Oh yes,
already in the
we
works.
do.
Some
Yes,
very
we
special
do.
guests. But it's been a great season 1, and what better place to wrap up our first season of the Cocktail Guru podcast than New Orleans.
And I think we should thank Carrie. We should thank Kaylin.
We need to thank
And
Abigail.
Abigail.
Come over here, please.
Because we're at her bar, Loa Bar.
Thank you.
But I also want to thank Philip Dobard.
Abigail, it's been amazing. You're amazing, and thank you for mixing up some beautiful cocktails for us.
Thank you, Abigail. Thank you so much.
Les bon temps roulés.
Laissez le bon temps rouler.
Ah, voilà.
That's a wrap on Season 1. Stay tuned this fall for Season 2. If you enjoy what we do, please rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast. You can also support the show with a small monthly donation to help sustain future episodes. Just click on the donate button at the top of our website and choose your donation amount. To learn more about future guests, visit www.thecocktailgurupodcast.com or follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok.
The Cocktail Guru podcast is produced by First Reel Entertainment and distributed by EatsDrinksTV, a service of the Center for Culinary Culture, home of the Cocktail Collection, and is available via Anchor, Spotify, Apple, Google, Amazon, and wherever you listen to your favorite shows.